Mary Beth Tinker was a 13-year-old junior high school student in December 1965 when she and a group of students decided to wear armbands to school to protest the war in Vietnam. The school board got wind of the protests and proceeded to apply a preemptive ban. When Mary Beth arrived at school on December 16th, she was asked to remove the armband. When she refused, she was sent home. 4 of the students were suspended, including her brother John Tinker and Chris Eckhart. The students were told they could not return to school until they agreed to remove their armbands. The students returned to school after the Christmas break without armbands, but in protest wore black clothing for the remainder of the school year. Represented by the ACLU, the students and their families embarked on a 4-year court battle that culminated in the landmark Supreme Court decision. Tinker versus Des Moines on February 24, 1969. The court ruled 7-2 that students do not shed their constitutional rights of freedom of speech or expression at the schoolhouse gate. Around this time of 1965, the Vietnam War was going on. Americans all over the country were protesting the war, wanting our soldiers to come back. The black armband was a symbol of protest, going against the Vietnam War. The controversy made the front page of the Des Moines Register. The school board president, Ora Niffleger, defended the ban as a disciplinary measure against disturbing influence in our school. Our country's leaders have decided on a course of action, and we should support them. The Iowa Civil Liberties Union saw things differently. At a school board meeting on December 21st, attorney Craig Sawyer insisted that the students be reinstated and the armband rule be repealed. Other members of the community also spoke, representing views on both sides of the debate, yet no resolution emerged. When a board member tried to end the discussion, Sawyer cried out, "I am demanding that you decide it. Take a stand. That's what you're here for." Indeed, they did. The board voted 5-4 to maintain the ban. The dispute was headed to court. In the first round, the students lost. On September 1st, 1966, Chief Judge Roy Stevenson of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Iowa upheld a prohibition against armbands despite acknowledging that wearing an armband is a symbolic act that falls under the free speech clause of the First Amendment. Judge Stevenson determined that the school's district concern for the disciplined atmosphere of the classroom outweighed speech concerns. Later, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit was evenly divided. The case was appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. Arguments on November 12, 1968. Dan Johnston, arguing for the students, pointed out that the district had allowed other kinds of provocative political speech, including buttons reminiscent of the Nazi regime, and that no disruption of school activities had occurred. Alan Herrick, arguing for the district, insisted that the board be allowed to preempt the violence, disorder, and disruption that could break out in response to such provocations. Here, at the highest level, the students won. Writing for a 7-2 majority, Justice Abe Fortas issued the now famous declaration that students and teachers do not shed their constitutional rights to freedom of speech or expression at the schoolhouse gate. Student speech can't be censored, he wrote, unless it is materially disrupting the classwork or involves a substantial disorder or invasion of the rights of others.